All right. Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day. It is the start of our first 2 hour live stream. I am super excited for it. Hello, Narid. Hello, Gravwater. Hello, Andrew. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know how everything is looking with the stream. It looks like it's a little bit choppy again for some reason. I really don't know why it does this. So I do apologize to everybody for like these weird choppy moments in the live stream. I have super fast internet, and yet for some reason, every single time, it seems to be a little bit choppy, and I don't understand why that is. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another live stream. But the special thing about today's stream is that this is the first 2 hour live stream that I'm going to be doing. I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are as well. Be sure, if you guys haven't, be sure to share on social media that we're going live right now, in case anybody you might know wants to join in on the fun. And be sure to hit that like button. And if you guys have any questions that you might want answered after the live stream, please feel free to leave them down below in the comments. I'll be sure to try and answer those both in the comments as well as on future streams or in Twitter Spaces as well. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to try and do some stuff here to clear up the stream, but let me know if everything is working out. Hopefully it is. It's like we can't have a single live stream without some sort of technical difficulty, which is pretty much the norm. So I do apologize again if things are a little bit choppy. If they're not, then great, but something tells me that kind of is. All right, so let me click out a couple of windows here, clear up some of the bits on my computer, and hopefully that will help out. But yeah, so how is everybody doing today? Please let me know in the chat how you guys are doing. If you guys are having a great Friday. Today is actually my day off, so I'm able to do a 2 hour live stream as opposed to doing just a regular 1 hour stream, or sometimes we've done less than an hour. So I'm really excited to be able to finally do this and to finally be able to share a lot with all of you. Um, so, if there's no questions right out of the gate, let's actually jump into something really fun, and hopefully this actually might clear up a little bit of RAM on my computer. Um, and this is actually something that we talked about last live stream, and that is the captain's log. So if you guys haven't seen it already, yes, a little choppy like before. I'm so sorry about that. It really shouldn't be, because I get about 40 megabytes per second upload speed. So I don't know why it does that. I do apologize. But let's actually jump over to the captain's log. So for those of you who are tuning in right now and you guys were not on the last live stream on Wednesday, you may not know about this. This is something new. This is something I just shared on Twitter. The captain's log. This is going to be where I share a lot of updates about the island, about some of the backstory, some of the information about the island itself, some of the characters, and the mutants. And so with this, earlier this week, we shared the welcome packet. I'm not going to go through and read all of this. You guys can definitely go check it out. If you guys head over to Mutant Island on Twitter, you should be able to find the link to this Google Doc. And I'll be updating this throughout the course of the entire project. So this is a fun way for you guys to go back in here, see what's going on, read updates, and also help to keep me honest about some of the storyline, because some things may change, and like you can see here in the title, this is version 1. So there will be some alterations to this. We'll update it with version 2, and we'll include little bits of comments as to what those changes are. But without further ado, let's actually jump down to the newest addition to the Captain's Log. That's it, today's edition, and that is the Island Part 1. So I'm going to go through and read this to you guys. So Mutant Island is a man-made, mutant-made floating refuge for the Doctor and his creations. As you guys will read in the first entry, but the island is in almost constant motion, moving across the globe from ocean to ocean. It's powered by 4 massive turbines that draw their power from the island's cold fusion reactor. As I've said in the past, A lot of the stuff that I have in the storyline comes from my imagination. Cold fusion, not a possibility at least right now, but it's a fun little thing to add into this. In the event of a malfunction or power loss, there are a few other ways the island can continue its momentum and course. So this is something that I'll be sharing more of in another part for the island's little log. In addition to the power used to propel the island, there are also a series of wind turbines and solar panels used to supply additional power elsewhere on the island and within. When it was first built, this was 13 years ago, it was the size of 2 football fields side by side, so about 100 meters by 80 meters. But over the last 13 years, the island has grown to half the size of the island of Kauai in Hawaii. If you guys don't know, that is, I believe Kauai is one of the bigger islands in the island chain that is known as Hawaii. So this place is massive. It is pretty big. It's not done there. It's not done growing. Every year, more is added to the island, both above and below the water's surface. So that's the entry for the captain's log for today. This is the first little bit with the island, with us like sharing a little bit more information about it. Some of this information you guys actually might already know because of the earlier live stream that I did where I shared a sketch of the island. And so you guys aren't necessarily new to some of this information, but it's good to continuously share this so you guys can learn more about the island. And it also might even give you guys some questions that you might want to ask. Durin says, yes, a little choppy like before, but I blame YouTube. I kind of do too. This really shouldn't be happening. I don't know why it's choppy. I do apologize for that. Hopefully, as we go through here, it will get a little bit better. But again, I do apologize for that. Actually, I think one thing that we can do to really help that is I'm going to close out Illustrator because we actually don't need Illustrator open. And hopefully that will help out with the choppiness. Okay, so that is the captain's log. As I said, be on the lookout. Make sure that you guys save this, or at least like save the tweet that you guys see this in on the Mutant Island profile. We'll actually jump into Twitter right now, and let's go over here so you guys can see the tweet where you guys can find the Mutant Island Google Doc right here. Here it is. Just posted about 38 minutes ago, but if you guys click on this link here, it'll bring you directly to that Google Doc, and you guys can go ahead and save that, bookmark it, and you'll be able to keep up with the captain's log. Now, I will make sure to post at least once a week sharing that there are updates to the captain's log, but we're probably going to be updating it a couple of times each week and sharing those on the live stream. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see, Duran, it got better when you opened the captain's log. Okay, that's great. I'm glad to hear that it got better, and hopefully it gets better with the fact that I closed out Illustrator. So also, one last thing here, and I'll also bring this up again at the end of the live stream. We are going to be putting a pause on the individual like phrases to add people to the whitelist for now, but we are going to have opportunities like this one here with our tweet where you guys can enter to win a random spot on the whitelist on our island cruise list for those of you who are not or may not be on the list already. So for instance, right now we have this fun little contest here where we're basically just asking people's opinion on these two hats for this specific mutant. So basically all you have to do here is just comment down below, you know, which hat you like, and then just hit a retweet, and you'll be entered into the random drawing that we're going to do tomorrow. So you have about like 24 hours from now to do that if you guys aren't already on the whitelist. I know Gravwater, I know Duran, I know Andrew, you guys are all on the whitelist, so you guys don't have to really worry about this. But for anyone else who is listening who hasn't joined in the chat, which by the way, please say hello when you join the chat. Those of you who aren't already on the whitelist, this is the perfect opportunity for you guys to win a great spot. Let's see, Duran was like, that was a tough decisions, both look great. And one thing also to clarify here is that this doesn't mean that necessarily one of these hats is going to be going bye bye. That just means that I was just curious which one people liked for this specific mutant. And I have to agree, I believe right now, I don't know what the score is on it. I think I've seen more people go for the Safari hat, letter A, and I think that one is actually kind of winning right now. Gravwater says, I agree, I love both. Duran says, I voted for B, but I think I changed my vote to A. Let's see. We have a new person in the chat. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. I cannot pronounce your name, so I'm going to call you Jane, which I think is the last part of your name there. Jane says, A. Is there a Discord? Not yet. We are going to be setting up the Discord this weekend. But we will not be opening it up until we hit 500 followers on Twitter. It's a way for us to have like a good threshold so that we have a good amount of people who will hopefully join in on the Discord. But don't worry, it is coming, but we need to generate more followers. I'm working hard on doing that, especially with fun little bits like this here on Twitter, where hopefully we can get the word out, we can get a lot more engagement, and hopefully this project will take off like Dronies did in so spectacular fashion. So Discord is coming. I chatted with Peter yesterday and we decided that the best thing to do would be to wait till we hit that 500 mark, but we're going to go ahead and get things ready, set everything up so that the Discord is up and running, and we will be doing a call for people who may want to be curators or mods in the Discord. I know that Chupacabra, I think a couple other people who are constantly in the chat, you guys have shared interest about being involved, about being a part of the Discord and helping with those areas. There is going to be opportunities for that. I will be sharing that closer to when we are going to launch the Discord. So probably when we hit like 400 to 450 followers on Twitter, I will be sharing more about that if anybody would like to apply for that position. Let's see. I also use Adobe Fresco. Squishy Panda is my collection. Oh, awesome. That's great to hear. It's really great that other people are using Adobe Fresco to create their NFTs, to create their artwork. I personally love it because of the fact that it's all vector. All I had to do was put together these new hats in Fresco, brought them to Illustrator, add some color to them, and I think they turned out really, really cool. So awesome. So thank you guys so much for everything. Let's see. Andrew says, very interested. That's great to know. Like I said, I'll be probably doing a call on Twitter and or during a live stream for anybody who is interested in applying for it. I know that a lot of you come from the Dronies side of things. So Peter already has an idea of who is very engaged in Discord, and he'll be helping with that selection process. All right, awesome. So let's actually jump away from there. Let's jump back into here. I can already see on my end that it does look a little bit less choppy, but I'm going to go ahead and close out of Twitter, and hopefully that will help it out even more. All right, so during today's live stream, we are going to be going or trying to go for 2 hours, a 2-hour live stream. I almost was going to do a 3-hour live stream to kind of go with like a 3-hour tour with Gilligan's Island, like we've done with some of these other little bits. But unfortunately, I was like, 3 hours is definitely going to be too long. So we're only going to do 2 hours. We might go a little bit longer than that. It depends all on the engagement in the chat. If you guys have questions, if you guys have ideas that you want to share and things like that. All right, so we're actually going to start this off. We're going to jump into the iPad, onto Adobe Fresco, and I'm going to share with you guys the second one-of-one, the second custom Mutant, and we actually just kind of mentioned this. No, it's a green screen. Oh, no. Okay, it's flickering. I hate this. I don't know why here it was working fine all this time, and then all of a sudden, it doesn't want to work. I don't know what is up with this. I don't know why the iPad doesn't want to work. Okay, so now we're back. Hopefully it does not go back to green. But here it is. Here is our Gilligan Mutant. Yes, our custom Gilligan Mutant. This is what he looks like. I actually realized, last night, actually, as I was working on him and finishing him up, that we have to go back and re-edit the skipper because of the fact that he doesn't follow with the structure of the other mutants. So Skipper is going to have to be edited a little bit, but don't worry, he will still be in there. We may do a couple of more characters from Gilligan's Island in here, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. I am in a different time zone, but we'll check out once I get up. Awesome. Thank you so much. Tease Gilligan. Hey, little buddy. This is sick. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for all the love for this second custom one of one. Oh, man, I want that one. Don't worry. There's going to be a lot of one of ones. I'm going to actually be working on possibly a couple of them during the stream, as well as some over the weekend. This whole weekend, I'm going to be taking time to go through and do as much as I possibly can for Mutant Island with custom characters, with a bunch of different additional illustrations for a media push. So there's a lot of cool things that hopefully will get you guys revved up and excited about the project, even more than you already are. Let's see. Grabwater says, that's sick. Duran says, I grew up watching Gilligan's Island. So did I. I remember watching as a little kid Nick at Night, where they would show all the old shows like I Love Lucy, Gilligan's Island, Happy Days. And so I think we might bring in a couple of those older TV shows into the mix. If anybody has any suggestions for other shows or movies or other elements or people in pop culture, please feel free to share them in the comments. I'm actually going to ask you guys to share them in the comments versus the chat so that I can go through later, tabulate everything, and just like make a good solid list of things. And that way we don't lose it in the chat. You guys can also share it in the chat, but please also share it in the comments. That way we can go through and make sure that we have a good solid list and we don't miss anything out. And it will be a way for us to potentially reward some of you guys for some of your suggestions, especially ones that aren't already on our radar. So please definitely do that. Share them in the comments. That will also help with the algorithm of YouTube. Everybody knows that these crazy algorithms are annoying beyond belief. YouTube is also one of those things that is annoying. So please feel free to comment and everything like that. Let's see. Jack Sparrow, one of one. I actually really like that. We do have a lot of elements to do not only Jack Sparrow, but also Davy Jones. That was actually one that I have been wanting to do. So doing a Jack Sparrow one also would be a lot of fun. I can just see the eyeliner now. Oh no, it keeps going out. I don't know why this is. Actually, here, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop my camera real quick. There we go. See, it's back. So I think, honestly, I think what's the issue may be the cord itself because it keeps going in and out. So bear with me. I'm going to turn off my camera for a second and let me go grab another cord. All right, so let's try this. Davy Jones would be a perfect fit for the project. I agree with you 100%. In fact, his tentacles have been a real big inspiration for a lot of this. You guys can see that this is just like going in and out. Ugh, it's so annoying, but I've got another cord here. Let's see if this will work. All right, so I heard the ding. Let's see if this will bring it back. There it is. I bet you it could be the cord. We'll see, because I don't think it should be anything to do with my computer or with the iPad itself. The iPad's pretty new, so all right, it seems to be working. And there it goes again. Oh my God, I don't know what is going on with this thing. Let's see. There is one other thing that I can think of to do for this. But I don't know if it will work. So please bear with me. Let me go to full screen while I'm doing this so you guys can see my face versus seeing all this craziness here. This will definitely slow down the stream for sure, I think. But it is a way for us to get around this weird connection issue, I think. So we're going to start a new movie. We're going to select the iPad. We're going to go back to the iPad. See, it's working on here. So I'm going to hide this. It's not a live stream without some sort of issue happening, right, guys? Always have to be working. Oh, don't worry. You did not jinx it. You are fine. Let's see. QuickTime, movie recording. There we go. That is working. Okay. So again, this may or may not slow down the stream. I do not know, but this is one way that we can do this little workaround here. So hopefully this will work. Let me know if you guys can see me, if there's any mess ups or anything like that. Please feel free to let me know in the chat. Let's see. Of course, Swamp Thing and Creature from the Black Lagoon. They're kind of similar, right? They're very similar, I imagine. One thing that I had thought about doing was the classic movie monster characters like Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Swamp Thing, the Mummy. Having like maybe like a run of those as being custom one of ones. I think those would work pretty good. Andrew says, so much better. Oh, I just jinxed it. Okay, hopefully now, though, it should be working. All right, so let's see. This is what I'm going to do. There is a small delay, so I do apologize for that. So we're actually going to go in, and I'm going to share with you guys. Let me hide this. I'm going to share with you guys some of the one-of-ones that I have been thinking about. And so here are 4 of those options. The first one, whoops, I need to make sure this is viewed. The first one is kind of like a Clint Eastwood, the good, the bad, and the ugly style mutant. I don't know if I would do the trifecta where you have the good, the bad, and the ugly, but definitely really like this one myself. Let me see. Then another one. And by the way, so let's see who likes this one. Definitely say me in the chat for those of you, or say the good in the chat if you guys like this one. Let's see. I love the idea of classic movie monsters. Thank you. I really think that would be a good one, especially for this series. So if you like the Clint Eastwood, the good, the bad, and the ugly one here, say the good in the chat. All right. So then the next one is actually exactly what we were just talking about, and that is Frankenstein. So we have like this like Frankenstein styled mutant here. I think he looks pretty good. I don't know if this is where we're going to go with this specific one, but I really like it, and I think that this is a good start for it. If you guys like this one, be sure to say Frankenstein in the chat. The next one is a Batman-styled mutant. I think this is really good. I really like it. If you guys like this one, say the Bat. All right? And then the last one, this one is one I'm not 100% sure on, but it is a Harry Potter mutant. Again, still not 100%, on this. I don't know if this is going to be like the one or not, but this is, I really like it. So, but if you like this one, go, The Boy Who Lived or something like that. Awesome. Everybody's really liking the good, the bad, and the ugly one. Andrew shares a smiley face with stars. Yeah. So these are like these were the first sketches beyond the Gilligan's Island customs. These were some of the first custom sketches that I did. And I figured these would be a great start to share with you guys to see, what you guys thought of them. If you guys like them, if you guys think that, it's a good idea, but the concept may not be right, please feel free to share it. Please feel free to tell me and let me know, because I kind of need that feedback. You know, if something's not working with these, if you don't like the Harry Potter one, if you think it might be a little too plain, let me know because then I can go back to the drawing board on it. That's perfectly fine. Let's see. We've got Dick Kirkland, Frankenstein, Andrew the Bat. All right, awesome. So people are really liking these. That's good. I think the good, the bad, and the ugly one, or the Clint Eastwood one, is actually the one that people are liking the most. We might actually go ahead and illustrate this one right here on the stream. How does that sound to everybody? You know, do you guys want to see this one done? You know what? I'm not even going to wait for your answer. I'm just going to go ahead and get started on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start doing a one-of-one here on the stream. Custom. What do you guys think? Should we call them one-of-ones or should we call them customs? I think customs probably work a lot better. Let's see. Durin, I like them all. Harry Potter, least favorite. Frankenstein, most favorite. I'd be interested to hear why Harry Potter was your least favorite, Durin. And I think the Frank needs 2 eyes. Okay, I can agree with that. I think going instead of 3 eyes, going to 2 eyes, I can definitely agree with that. Awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on the good, the bad, and the ugly, or the Clint Eastwood, whatever we want to call this guy. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna lower the opacity, and we're just gonna go ahead and create it directly in here. Get some fresh layers. Grab our black for the lines, and let's jump into it. So I'm going to start the one thing to keep in mind here, and this was the biggest issue, or the thing that I realized after the fact. Actually, let me go ahead and do this now before I forget about it. And that is I with the Skipper custom, which if you guys haven't seen his custom yet, I'll show it to you in a second. Go ahead and drop this in here. And we're going to lower the opacity just so we can see a little bit better. But the issue with the Skipper is that if we look at this here, it kind of follows with it. But the one issue is, and let me hide this part too. We look at Gilligan here. Gilligan is set up exactly like the rest of the mutants, so that if you're like scrolling through a bunch of mutants, they all basically have the same like structure, as in like the structure of the face, the neck, the shoulders. But then when you put on the Skipper, he's taller. He's taller than the rest of them. His head is a little bit higher. He has a longer neck. And so it doesn't unfortunately work for this. So I have to go back in and redo the Skipper, at least to a certain extent. He's still going to have the same characteristics that we see here. The biggest difference is I just have to go through and fix him so he fits with the rest of the mutants. So I'm glad I realized that with Gilligan, than realizing it after 20 of the customs. Let's see, Duran, it's not that I didn't like the Harry Potter design. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter. Oh, that's sad to hear. I'm a huge fan. Sometimes I find myself watching YouTube videos on little behind the scenes stuff on Harry Potter, as well as like the lore of Harry Potter. So I always found that that's really really fun and interesting. But I'm glad it's not that the character itself doesn't work for you. All right, so let's go in here and let's start working on our character. See, when I was growing up, me and my grandmother would watch spaghetti westerns a lot. A lot of Clint Eastwood, a lot of John Wayne. Loved those movies growing up. I love old movies, period. I'm actually watching right now The Great Escape. I love that movie. Gravwater, I think you should keep it as is. Part of the beauty of having custom is that they stand out a bit. Okay, I'll consider that. I'll consider that you said that. Let me think on it, and I may still go in and redo it and just compare and contrast the two and see how they feel. Does that make sense? Okay, so we got the eyes. Let's work on the mouth. Not bad. Not bad. I like to create many layers here because of the fact that, if there's any mess ups, I can still go in and fix them. All right, I'm going to duplicate the mouth so that in case, again, I need to fix anything, I still have that there and I don't have to completely redo it. We're going to group all these together. Looking good. Now let's do the extra like spikes here. He's very spiky. For those of you who like older movies, what's your favorite older movie? I would say for me, my favorite movie pre like before I was born is definitely Jaws, followed by Rocky Horror Picture Show, or excuse me, yeah, Rocky Horror Picture Show, followed by Ferris Bueller's Day Off. We may do a Ferris Bueller mutant. That's something that I thought about a couple times. My only fear is that people might not know who he is. So, if you guys think we definitely should, let me know. All right, so we got that. Let's add a couple of spikes right here at the jaw. And then that way it layers everything. Okay, that looks good. Group those together. Not bad, not bad at all. See, one thing that I definitely make sure with these is that, especially with the head shape here, that we're making sure not to mess up the design of it, so that whatever we create can be overlaid directly on top of the body, and that keeps the overall structure. Let's see. Gravwater Short Circuit is my favorite old movie. I have not seen that in so long. I remember, I'm pretty sure that we had a recording of that, like a VHS recording. We had a lot of recordings from when like HBO or any of the movie channels would offer or would have like their specials where it's like, oh, you get a free weekend of HBO. Okay, that's how we got Goonies. That's how we got a copy of Goonies. So like growing up, I had a lot of these. Like even though I was born in 1990, I had a ton of '80s movies that I watched. Huge '80s movie fan. And of course, like the '90s have really good movies too. In fact, I think a lot of times me and my wife is a few years younger than me. We watch a lot more '90s movies and have a lot more time, a lot more fun enjoying them than we do movies made in this century. Let's see. It's funny to me. You guys are calling movies from the '80s old. They're not really old, but then again, you also have to think movies from the '80s are over 30 years old now. So they kind of are, unfortunately. Even movies from the '90s are old. And that makes me feel I'm 31, turning 32 this year. Let's see. Attention to detail is sharp. Toothpick brings it together. It really does. I know that his character in the movie smoked a cigar. I'm not a fan of smoking, so I'm not going to put the cigar in there. Otherwise, I would have done that. Let's see. I'm a 01 baby. That's old to me. My sister-in-law, I think, is the youngest, and she was born in '99. Let's see. Durin was born in 1974. Nothing wrong with that. You actually were alive when Jaws came out. I'm jealous. I actually got to see Jaws in theaters. God, it's so cool. It's one of my favorite movies. I need to definitely try and do some sort of Jaws related mutants for sure. All right, so let's bring these guys together. All right, looking good. Now let's work on the hat. There we go. I know that on the last stream, a few people suggested that I get, especially since we did the captain's log, that I should get a captain's hat for launch, and I actually have a captain's hat and a safari hat saved in our Amazon cart, and I'm debating picking them up for the live streams. I was. That's what made me laugh. Oh God, yeah. I mean, I love older movies, and for me, honestly, what makes a movie old is if it was made more than 20 years ago. But you know what? In saying that, it's not meant to be like detrimental. Being just because a movie is old doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that. It just means that it's aged really well, especially a lot of the movies that we're mentioning right now. They've all aged really, really well. Okay. Clean that up a little bit. Let's see. That's part of the reason I love NFT scenes so much. It brings all sorts of people together for a common interest. I know. I agree with you 100%. I mean, if you think about age ranges, if you think about diversity, if you think about just like career diversity, even you have people, you have teenagers who are messing around with NFTs, but you also have people as old as like 80. I recently saw an article about a 84-year-old woman who was creating NFTs out of her paintings or something along those lines. Let's see. I really like Indiana Jones and Star Wars. Yes, 100% agree with you. I love Indiana Jones, and if I didn't create an Indiana Jones, there's something wrong. Okay, so I'm actually going to redo this hat because I do not like this. I was like looking at it right now, and it's just so uneven. So let's see. I'm going to rotate this a little bit, move it around. Let's see. I'm actually looking at it on my live stream here to better get an idea of like how it's looking, because just looking at it, holding it here doesn't give it justice. So, all right, that's better. Let's see. That feels better. We don't want it exactly perfect. With it being a little bit off, like not, perfectly the same size, I think that's fine. Sloth from Goonies. Yeah, that actually would be a really good one, Sloth. I remember my one of my best illustration series I ever did was Stranger Things. That was like the number one thing that people knew me from, was creating these Stranger Things illustrations that I later made into stickers. Now that feels better. That feels more like his hat. I love Stranger Things. I know. I still remember the first time I watched it. I actually watched it just like a week or two before I lost my job back in 2016. I think that's when I first saw it, and watching that plus doing the little illustrations and everything just really helped me rebound after that. There we go. And we're definitely going to add in these like little cactus prickers onto his, especially because of how spiky his like face is. We definitely want to contrast that with his hat. Hello, Kicks and Rocks. Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yep, those were fire. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, let's clean this one up here because we have this one here that needs to be trimmed a little bit. There we go. How does that look for everybody? That looks pretty good. And you see here in the sketch is a little off because um, we weren't following with the structure here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go back and we're going to drag this down a little bit. There we go. So that way we can figure out how we want to do like the neck part. Whoops. Okay, so we have the face done. It there is some parts of the face I still need to do. Actually, let's do. We'll get back to those. Let's start working on the body. For those of you who are Clint Eastwood fans, what's your favorite Clint Eastwood movie? I would say High Plains Drifter is probably my favorite. And the whole reason why that's my favorite is because I remember watching it with my grandma when I was a little kid and just be like mesmerized by the red buildings and everything like that in it. It definitely didn't age well for sure. I do not think that movie would do very well in theaters today. I don't even think they show it on TV anymore, actually. And by the way, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask away, in the chat. The Unforgiven. I haven't watched that in so long. Yeah, and so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. But also, if you guys have any suggestions for customs, please feel free to leave them in the comments. That way I can keep track of them. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move this back. There we go. And I'm actually going to hide it so that way we can finish up the lines on here. It's actually funny because one of our dogs, I pull his name, part of his name, from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. His name is Enzo Benedito Juan Ramirez. Um, and if you guys don't know, Tuco, who is the ugly in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, his name is Tuco Benedito Juan Ramirez. And so I pulled part of his name from that and gave it to my dog. Our dogs have all super, super long names. Okay, that's looking good. Now, let's add some of the finishing touches to this. So we'll go back to the face. And we'll add his little 5 o'clock shadow. Not bad. So we're going to go in, we're going to add all these together. And now we're going to start working on coloring it all in. Grab this color and we'll go back and do that again. So it's just easier. And anywhere that we have to like clean things up a little bit, we'll do that in Illustrator. I just found it so much easier to do it there. Does anybody have any plans for the weekend? Anything fun planned? I may or may not be detailing my truck. Still waiting or debating on that. I actually just hit this week or today 20 workouts in a row. I've been working on doing daily workouts every single morning, and today was number 20. Trying to get healthier, trying to, work out more. I like it, looks really good. Thank you so much, Durin. All right, let's see how this looks. Not too bad. I just realized is that this is the first character where we did the lines for the pupil, so I might have to redo his eyes, depending. We're getting close to the first hour of being up. Wow. That went by pretty quick. Yeah, I think the eyes are the one thing that I'm going to redo for sure. Whoops. Andrew's like, wow. Yeah, once you start doing some like filling things in, then it really starts to take shape. But again, eyes are definitely gonna have to be updated. And that's my own fault. So I remember in college, I actually wanted to learn how to play the theme song for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on the guitar. Grab water, gotta hop off and finish up work. Great stuff, man. I'll watch the rest when I get home. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. I really appreciate it. And a little speckles. Not bad. There we go. Looking good. I might just have to watch this movie this weekend. Whoops. Now that looks really good. Like I said, gonna fix his eyes though. Let's go ahead and do that. So I think with him, I almost want to just like do a complete squint. Don't like that. I think also we're gonna remove the 5 o'clock shadow. Or at least, yeah, let's remove that and see how that looks. Yeah, I like that better. Let's see, I also have to hop off for a few great stuff as usual. I'll watch the rest when I get home. Have a great weekend, Rocky. Thanks so much, Durin. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's see. We'll duplicate that, flip it over. Erase a little bit. There we go. That's feeling a little bit better. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the hat down. So what I need to do is I need to pair it with the fill. Because it's a little bit too high right now. I'm going to duplicate this just in case I might want to change it again later. The one thing I really like about this is the fact that it doesn't look exactly like him, but you see enough to where you can like understand the similarities. So we're gonna move the mouth down a little bit. Now we can move the eyes down again. And I wonder if we add too many spikes to the chin area. Let's see, if we remove these, it might actually look better. So let me erase this. And what I'm going to do instead is add some of the little prickly things to his face. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Okay, so now we have that. So now let's go. And we're going to add in shading. I just have to re-separate these things. Now that we moved them, we don't need to have them on the same layer. All right, now let's combine all these together, or group them together. Let me check something. Okay. All right, so let's add in our shading. Hopefully this isn't boring for you guys. Would love to see before and after of these designs. So are you talking about the sketch and then the vector? It's unreal watching them progress. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And then I'm going to clean these up after. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, it takes a lot. It's not like a quick process by any means. So it makes all of these so much more special for sure. I'm curious, has anybody watched the show Euphoria? I was just catching up on the latest episode last night, and oh my god, my anxiety was through the roof. So much so that I had to stop and watch Big Bang Theory clips just to get me laughing because it was just so stressful watching that. let's add in the shading here. Not bad. And I feel like that's it. I feel like that is it. That is our good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, actually, no, I take it back. There is a couple things I might want to do here. And just looking at this like eyebrow area, I feel like we could add some sort of like, even if it's just that, just because it seems so bare. There we go. I think that works. All right, so now we have the good character here. And so to go back to what Andrew was asking, let's take a look at the before and after. So I'm actually going to move the sketch off to the left. And you can kind of get an idea of what this looked like. So let me show this one and move it over to line it up how it should be. There we go. So there's the sketch, and there is the finished product right there. And I think it looks really good. I think it turned out pretty good. Like there's some things that you always want to change and alter and mess around with a little bit with these types of pieces, but I think it turned out really good. So, all right, awesome. Okay, so we've got that done. Let me undo so we can get these back to where they need to be. So now we have our the good for the good and the bad and the ugly trio, or triptych, or however you want to say it, saved. So let's jump in and let's create some. Let's see. Let's do some clothing. So I'm gonna hide that. And I'm just going to pull up this generic one, this generic mutant that I put together. And I'll go ahead and add this new hat that I created. What do you guys think? You guys like this hat? I think I like this. Andrew says, super cool, so clean. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, so here's actually a sneak peek into some of the clothing that we've put together, or the new stuff that I've been putting together throughout the week. So we got like some 60s, 70s polos. We've got a bomber jacket, a hoodie. I love hoodies myself. I wear a lot of hoodies. So of course I'm gonna do a hoodie for the mutants. And then this one here, this is actually what you guys have seen in those the safari hat and jungle helmet examples. This is like a little adventurers like shirt, you know, almost like a Indiana Jones type deal, or it could even be a uniform as well. And I think especially paired with this hat, or even those the helmets, I think that looks really good. It actually definitely reminds me of The Great Escape for sure. All right, so we're gonna hide this one. Or actually, no, we're not gonna hide that. We're gonna hide the actual shirt itself, because we're gonna go in and create another piece of clothing. So we're gonna go into the sketches here, and let's see what we want to do. Like, what piece of clothing do we want? Let's do something fun. How about this one? How does this one look? This is like almost like a motorcycle, like not like a crotch rocket type motorcycle jacket here. Or we could go and do like a really crazy armor type. Lumberjack. Here's a poncho like what we just did for the good, bad, and the ugly. You know what? Let's do something festive. Let's do this like Hawaiian shirt. I like that. I think that works. Okay, so let's start with the collar. Not bad, not bad. That works. Space out the buttons a little bit more. It's like you kind of gotta have if you're gonna have some sort of island theme, you kind of have to do a Hawaiian shirt. Whoops, didn't do that on a separate layer. Let's undo that. You know, when you're a big guy, for some reason, all of the clothing stores think that you want to wear floral Hawaiian shirts. I don't know why that is. And so, unfortunately, a lot of the shirts that I have are that type. They're the floral Hawaiian shirts, and ugh, I don't like them. But that's me. I think like drawing shirts like these are so much fun. But when you actually have to wear them, when you don't have anything else to wear, oh, it's so horrible. Okay, so we got the shirt. Now let's do all the flowers. Maybe we'll add a little other stuff in here as well. And see, with this, I'm actually going a little bit lighter because we don't want to overpower the shirt. Whoops. It's always fun trying to make like things as organic feeling as possible. Let's actually erase this little dot here. I don't think we need those. And then let's get the collar. For all of your character creations, is this everything just comes to mind? I'm assuming you have a list compiled over the years of all the different options. Actually, a lot of it is spur of the moment. Just thinking about different clothing. Sometimes I'll even look at uh, old like movie posters or clothing catalogs or things of that nature. Like especially on Pinterest, I love Love Pinterest. And sometimes I'll even look at other illustrations, like see like some of the clothing that people use, like not copying them exactly, but kind of like getting inspired. So for instance, like looking at the safari type shirt that we have like with the rolled up cuffs. That came from looking at like old World War II themed movies like Desert Rats, The Great Escape. Um, Trying to think, The Longest Day. Looking at those, and that's kind of like where that came from. With this one, it almost is kind of like Robin Williams from the Metropolitan Opera House from the 80s. That's what this is reminding me of. Doesn't want to go. There we go. Much better. And if anybody has any suggestions for clothing or anything like that, as always, just share it in the comments. One thing I definitely think is a big piece of it, though, is experimentation. Is like seeing what works, what doesn't work, and not being afraid to erase or start over if things aren't working quite the way that you want them to. Believe it or not, that happens a lot. Because I can tell you right now, like I would not put out um, any like clothing or other type of attribute that I didn't like or that I felt wasn't going to be like a good idea for the series. Okay, there we go. We got our little the outline for our Hawaiian shirt. Let's group those together and let's do the fill. Being that I am in business and rocking a suit right now, might be cool to see a businessman mutant. There is already, I think, two or three suits that I've created so far. So there are mutants in suits. Don't worry. And all the power to you to rocking a suit because I do not like suits. Maybe if I was skinnier, maybe a suit would look good, but I do not like them. I did not even wear a suit for my own wedding. I did wear some nice clothes, a dress shirt with like a vest and everything and a tie, but I do not like suits. I basically wear nothing but a black T-shirt and a hoodie for the most part. That's like I own like 30 plus hoodies. Or sorry, not hoodies. 30 plus black T-shirts. I'm curious. What business are you in? Let's see. Nick Gardner. I am in software, so definitely a lot of beanies, thick rim glasses, and hoodies. So we have a hoodie. We'll probably do a couple like color combinations with the hoodie. Um, and I think we have uh, two beanies. I think two. Might do a third one though. Whoops, that was not connected. Let's see. I am in tech too, but on sales biz dev side, so we always have to be in suits. Oof. Oh man, I would hate to have to be in a suit all the time. That would be horrible. But that's just me, you know. Like if you have to do it for your job, by all means. How many suits do you own? That's a good question. When I think of suit, I kind of think of uh, uh, American Psycho. Let's see. I run our Apple JamF business partnership at a technology company in NYC. Oh, awesome. I made sure when I took my job that I currently have that they knew, like, hey, I don't wear fancy clothes. Please don't expect me to wear fancy clothes. I'm very minimalistic with what I wear. Sometimes it drives my wife crazy, but I mean, especially like if when I get down in weight, yes, I will probably wear stuff other than black t-shirts, but when you're a big guy, black is just much better. 15, holy cow, 15? 15. Wow. Holy cow. Oof. Anything special about those suits? Does one cure cancer? I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Look at that. That looks nice. That is a lot of dry cleaning. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I don't think I've ever had to send anything out for dry cleaning ever. I do have a picture though of me in a tuxedo. At one of my previous companies, they had a Casino Royale theme night, and this was back when me and my wife had only been together for like 6 months, and I went out and rented a tuxedo for the event. Nothing special about them, just a red tie I always wear when closing deals. Oh yeah, nice and professional. There is a suit with a red tie too. Hopefully you can snag it. As Mr. Wonderful said, Mr. Wonderful. Oh my God. As Mr. Wonderful says, red signifies blood in the water, and sharks are always hungry. Oh my God, I love Shark Tank. Mr. Wonderful, I'm like on the ropes about sometimes. But no, like I love that you just quoted that. That was so good. All right, let's add in some shading here. Let's see, where are we at on time? We got about half an hour left. Nick Gardner, are you on the island cruise list yet? I'm not sure if you are. I haven't even watched Shark Tank in a while, surprisingly. I don't think I could ever be on it, though. Just notice a small little spot right there. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. So we got our little Hawaiian shirt here. This looks like a pretty good character, if I do say so myself. Look at him. He's got his nice little, you know, captain style type hat. He's got his little Hawaiian shirt and everything. Looking pretty good. Nope, I just saw you were live and figured I would pop in and watch while I do some work. I have seen a few of the pieces you mentioned on Insta and Twitter. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you're interested, there is right now like an open giveaway going on where all you have to do is just check out my feature post on at Mutant Island. Um, comment on which one of the two options you like, and then just retweet, and you'll be entered to earn a spot on the whitelist. Let's see. I would be very nervous presenting in front of them. Intimidating bunch for sure, 100%. I think the one person that I would love to meet on Shark Tank would be Mark Cuban. I think that would be really interesting to meet him. But at the same time, I agree with you. I think that would be very, very intimidating for sure. All right. So let's go back and relook at this. So we were able to add in another piece of clothing, another shirt. And then we were able to knock out a new one of one, a new custom, the good, the bad, and the ugly custom. And I also was able to showcase to you guys the Gilligan from Gilligan's Island custom, which I definitely like this. I think this turned out really good. The one thing with these customs is I don't want them to look 100% like the actual characters they're based on, but I want them, you'd be able to look at them and be like, oh, that's Gilligan from Gilligan's Island. You'll be able to tell this one a lot more once we actually get it into color. And I still say I need to fix up the skipper here, so that he fits a little bit more, especially because I think his neck is way, way too long, for sure. All right, so we got about 30 minutes left. If is there anyone who has any questions or anything like that that they'd like to ask about the project, about the process, about me, or anything like that, please feel free to ask away. And I'm going to see what else we've got here. So, and also one more time, like so here. Whoops, I need to actually have this guy showing. So here is some of the stuff here. We have a flight jacket. We have a hoodie, a couple of polos. I don't know if we're going to have many of these options for the polos. Probably just like one, maybe two. The little like safari jack or shirt. And then, let's see. I'm actually going to jump in here and look for There we go. There is your suit and tie. It's got a little one of the little Cult of Neptune pins on the tie too. There you go, Andrew. There's your little suit and tie. Um, let's see. I just really like the safari hat. That looks so good. I do agree. Someone had said, I can't remember who it was that said it, but with the two example or with the safari hat on Twitter that it was too high up that needed to be brought down. I agree with you. This one here is a lot more. The original one is a lot more lower on the mutant's head for sure. Let's see. Are you going to do one that is Valentine's Day themed? I could definitely do. Like I thought about doing some like holiday themes and things like that. I'm not 100% sure because it won't be launching until after Valentine's Day. I could do one just as like a fun little like creation for the stream. Let's see what today is, the 11th, 12th, 13th. So Monday would be the 14th. It'd be Valentine's Day. I mean, I could do one just for as a fun little thing that you guys can share on social media. I definitely think that would be good. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna do holidays. Like I thought about doing a Santa Claus one. I thought about doing an Uncle Sam style one for like Fourth of July. So like there's a couple a Leprechaun one for St. Patty's Day. So I thought about doing a couple of those, but I'm not 100% sold on doing uh, too many. So maybe I would say I think it's definitely a possibility. That is a very sharp looking mutant, almost a James Bond theme. Yeah, I even have a couple of like tuxedo style jackets as well. So there's more than just one of those, and there's a couple. I think there has to be like two or three that have ties. So yeah, the clothing and the hats are like the two biggest ones or biggest attributes that we're still building out. And that was because the original grouping that I created for this, I made one big error. A lot of them were going to have like five or six different color combinations, and that was going to be like the big differentiating factor for those. And so we realized very quickly, we need to actually create some other pieces that are a little bit more rare and things that people that will help with like the rarity factors. And there's other stuff too that you guys haven't seen yet that are in the works. Like they're not gonna all have plain colored backgrounds. There are illustrated backgrounds. I just haven't shown those. I probably won't show those until we're closer to launch. Um, but yeah, there are other things, and there's even I'm still torn on it on whether or not to include like items and things like that. For instance, and I'll show you guys one real quick. For instance, like this scepter here. I like created these a while back. I didn't know if it was something that I wanted to put in here. Here's like a lobster claw type deal. Here's a spear. I'm still not 100% sold on whether or not to include these or not, but these are some things that I did go through and create. Again, still not 100% sold on whether or not to include those items or not, or maybe those items are an additional like rarity where only 5% or less of the mutants actually include an item paired with them, and that just adds to the rarity of everything. But my goal is in the next couple of weeks to start working a lot more on the backgrounds for this, and those will all be done off the streams, simply because those are like one of the big reveal parts of it. But I'm excited for them for sure. All right, so we got like a little more than 20 minutes left. Any other questions or concerns or thoughts, feedback, ideas? Oh wow, I haven't seen these yet. Placement seems a little funky, but I think incorporating them could be cool. Yeah, right now, like those were something that were created, that were never actually like placed like a certain way. So they don't have like the biggest thing is that they we don't have hands. You know, all the mutants have their arms straight down. I don't think we're gonna create a version where they actually like are have their arm up holding something. I don't know. That is a possibility. I just have to see that, see how that would look, and then it was more of just like, oh, like let's see what kind of stuff that we could potentially pair with it, and we kind of abandoned that idea a while back, but it could be something that we do include. Here's actually another thing too that we were doing. I'll just show this one example, but we had like these little items here, um, that would be like in the background, especially for the ones with a solid background. Um, and so you'd have stuff like this, like these like smelly fish or something like that. So there's like different things that we talked about that we like experimented with, and it's just like something I don't know if it's something that we will include. We'll have to see. So there's a lot of stuff that we're still playing around with. Um, but yeah, so we will be doing, like I said, but at the beginning of the stream, Discord is going to be coming. It's not going to be coming yet. We're going to actually start setting it up this weekend, but it won't open up until we hit the 500 follower mark, which I'm constantly working on increasing our engagement and hopefully getting us to that point where we have 500 plus followers, but we're just not there yet. We're still hovering at 337. So if anybody can share out this, or if you have friends that would like that you think would be perfect to join the Mutant Island family, please feel free to share with them and help us get the word out for sure. Yes, that is a winner right there. Can make them glow. Yeah, it's like it's more of coming up with the ideas of what we can do there or what to include. There is even like some talks of doing some fun things like mocking up some trading cards with these. So there's some cool stuff that's coming. I don't know how far we're gonna get with that. I don't know if it's gonna be something that is like a version 2.0, like the second round, or it's like an airdrop where you have like all these different like trading cards that your mutants actually fit into, and it gives them like special attributes and things like that. So these are some of the things that we were thinking about right now as like the second version or second edition, or airdrops. Like if you hold three mutants, you get at least one trading card booster or something like that, where it's like you get 1 to 3 different like borders to add to your mutants. So a lot of cool stuff that we're thinking about, and it's still, like I said, still in the works. Nothing is guaranteed at this point, because we're still trying to work everything out. Yesterday, I met with Peter and someone else from the Unfold team. We're starting to work on the website, and hopefully we'll get that up, ASAP, and then from there, Discord and all the other fun stuff. So my dog here is like, he's like, oh hey, are we almost done? Because like you've been on for almost 2 hours, and I'm tired and I want some attention. So I don't know if you can see him or not, but he's jumping up here. He always loves to try and go after my microphone for sure. Let's see. Very vision driven. Makes this project special because not many projects think this way. See, the biggest thing that I think that helps differentiate our project from a lot of others is the fact that we are, very vision driven, but also very storyline based driven. I think a lot of projects, they start off just creating something awesome and cool, and then they attach a storyline to it after the fact. Versus these were created around a specific type of storyline, and I think that's something that really helps differentiate us, helps us stand apart from a lot of other projects, and hopefully everybody enjoys the storyline. They enjoy the bits. They enjoy the future like comic series that I'm going to be working on. Yeah, I think that there's so much that we can do with this, and it's just going to be so much fun. I'm excited, and I think that a lot of you are as well. But yeah, I'm curious. What did you guys think? What did you guys think for the first long live stream? Is 2 hours too much? I'm sure that it probably would have gone a lot better if I had one other person on here, like if Peter was on here, or maybe another one of my illustrator friends, if I brought one of them on the stream and we can just like talk through Mutant Island. We can talk about what I'm doing with like the sketching and drawing and things like that. What do you guys think? Like, do you have any suggestions for future long live streams, or even just like the regular live streams in general? Please let me know. Say it. Let me know in the chat, or let me know in the comments too. Because I think like that really helps out. Definitely, posting in the comments, liking this video, subscribing, sharing it on social media. All those things are going to really help this project take off. And the bigger that we can get it, the better we can have the better we can like have this whole experience go, both pre-launch and post-launch especially. The more people we can get involved, and the more stuff that we can do with all of this, oh my god, the skies are the limit, really. Let's see, that would be cool in the future. Awesome, thank you so much for letting me know that. Yeah, I have a few illustrator friends that I can definitely bring on. I'm sure that they would be interested in it. It'd probably have to be a later live stream for sure, because of the fact that of time zones and people have day jobs and things like that. But I definitely think that it's something that, oh, excuse me, we can definitely do. And I have some friends who also have their own NFT projects, and I'm sure that they would love to jump on not only to talk about Mutant Island, but also to share about their projects. I have one friend who's got a really awesome project that's way different than I've seen any other NFT project. And I'm curious to hear what people are going to think of the project and how it's going to work. But we'll see if we can't get him on to a stream to talk about his project, and as well as just like discuss ideas for this one as well. So we have about 15 minutes. Is there any other questions that you guys have? Is there anything else that you'd like to hear about? Otherwise, we'll probably end the stream. It's a little less than 2 hours, but it's been a while. It's been a roller coaster for sure. We had some problems. We had to improvise here and there. The stream was a little bit choppy, which I do apologize for. Let me actually, well, no, I'm not going to run a speed test because I feel like that would cause some issues. But yeah, I mean, I always strive to make these live streams better for you guys, and for some reason, my internet, I feel like, is the biggest issue. Is just that things get bogged down and they just don't want to work properly. But luckily, I do have this workaround now with the iPad, so we shouldn't have to cancel any more streams because of the iPad not working properly. So that's good. So that's like some good news there. All right, yeah. So if no one has any questions in the next couple minutes, we'll probably just go ahead and call it for this stream. But I'm really excited that everyone tuned in, and I feel like we had a good amount of people on. I'm excited just to see things continuously grow. Definitely had to get some water there. Talking for so much can like really dry out your throat, and my allergies have been acting up. Moving from California to Georgia, I haven't had issues with allergies in years, and now we're almost to the point where I'm a year here in Georgia again, and I'm reacclimating to having allergies, and I hate that. Let's see. Don't worry about it. Always is a great time watching this project unfold. Thank you so much, Andrew. I really appreciate that. And thank you everybody else who tuned in. I think we're gonna actually probably call it and say that we're gonna end the stream. But again, if you guys have not, go to @Mutant Island on Twitter And be sure to check out the new giveaway. Like I said, tomorrow, probably around between 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern time is when I'm going to choose the winner. So you guys do have time to go through and comment which selection you like and retweet it, and we'll choose a winner to, or we'll be choosing, I think, two winners to be added to our island cruise list, which is our white list. We're going to start, pulling back a little bit. We were doing every single stream where we were offering a special code word to add people to the island cruise list. I think we're gonna cut back on that a little bit for now, but there's gonna be many, many, many opportunities for you guys to join the list if you guys aren't already on it. And I'm really excited to see how everything goes. I think once we get the Discord up and running, once we get the website up and running, sky is the limit for where this could go. So, but yeah, guys, I really appreciate your time. Always remember to stay passionate, stay positive, and stay creative. I hope you have a great weekend, and please do something fun. Don't stay inside, don't stay cooped up. At least go outside and, enjoy the fresh air. Listen to the birds chirping. Hopefully it's not freezing cold where you are. I'm sure in New York it's probably nice and cold though. But try and, have some fun this weekend. All right? All right, guys. That's going to be it for me for today, for this long, long live stream. I'm excited for the next one, though. I hope you guys are too. Talk to you later, and bye.